What was supposed to be a secret rave in New York turned into packed crowds, people dancing shoulder to shoulder, few wearing masks. Scenes like this sparking national outrage and causing authorities to crack down all across the United States.
Crowded cruise has landed a party boat's captain and its owners in hot water.
Videos on social media of people out drinking and living it up, igniting a debate between experts who fear that these crowds could be contributing to a rise in new COVID cases, while others remain insistent that they feel safe and have a right to party.
Is this your first time out on the town?
Man, I've been out every day for the past 4 months.
Do you feel safe being out tonight?
I feel completely safe, yeah.
Is it a much tougher decision to decide to go get a drink now?
Honestly, no.
COVID-19 is far from over. 15 states are seeing an increase in cases, and over 155,000 people have already died from the virus. And as the cases continue to climb, the nightlife industry has become the center of national controversy, with lawmakers from at least 16 states putting a pause or reversing the reopening of bars and restaurants as they fear that people socializing may be contributing to a surge in the pandemic.
We cannot move forward if a few knuckleheads think the rules don't apply to them.
There are states that do need to close their bars.
But people who have been cooped up for months at home are fighting to be out. Just last weekend, videos that circulated from a Chainsmokers drive-in concert in the Hamptons, where partygoers looked packed together with no masks on, caused a national uproar, with many questioning how there could even be a concert in the middle of a pandemic.
There was nothing that was going to stop me from participating.
Grace Lee was one of those who attended.
People were so respectful. We were dancing on top of my car the whole time, so we were well distanced from other people.
What would you say to people who, who are practicing social distancing, who are saying that your decision to kind of go to something like this is selfish?
Yeah, you know what? Maybe it was a little bit selfish, actually. I guess I could have avoided it and stayed at home. I participated because I knew that I was going to have the space to socially distance, and I knew that I wasn't putting anyone else at risk. It wasn't any riskier than going to the grocery store or standing in line at the bank.
The organizers of the event said that they followed the guidelines created by the CDC, collaborated with all state and local health officials to keep everyone safe, and that they followed all proper and current protocol. They also said that the event raised money for No Kid Hungry, Southampton Fresh Air Home, and Children's Medical Fund of New York.
I think that people that are trying to promote social distancing and promote just like public health, like they're doing a great job, and they don't have an easy job, and I would never want to take anything away from their efforts. But I don't think we can just continue in this way of nothing is allowed. Like, things have to be allowed within certain guidelines.
The backlash to the Chainsmokers concert, a reminder of what's still at stake. While some of the biggest clubs and venues in the country remain closed, their owners are trying to figure out how and if we should be partying at all.
I don't know if nightlife comes back unless they really have it under control.
David Gruntman is known as the king of Miami nightlife and counts A-listers like Pharrell and DJ Khaled as some of his closest friends. His parties before COVID-19 were legendary. His clubs, Live and Story, two of the most popping places on the East Coast.
You made the decision to close your clubs, Live, Story, some of the biggest clubs in the United States. And talk to me a little bit about the decision that went into actually closing those.
We had heard other places being closed around the country. And then when we saw they stopped international travel, we knew it was time to take a pause.
While Gruntman's clubs remained closed, he opened up his restaurants in May, following state guidelines, after Florida made the decision to lift restrictions.
When Florida opened, people came in droves. And we kind of were a little bit naive, and we kind of opened the floodgates a little bit too early, especially at my places.
Florida now has some of the highest rates of COVID in the nation. Just this weekend, reporting over 21,000 cases and 250 deaths. Gruntman counts himself lucky. His hospitality group is large enough to stay afloat for the time being while they stay closed to the public.
A lot of small business owners around the country are struggling with this decision to actually open their bars. What would your advice be to them as they kind of struggle with this decision to reopen?
I know it's tough. I know the bills are coming. I know the landlords are calling. Make a deal. That's the best thing I can tell you. But guys, just go slow. We got to get rid of this.
For Bill Nye the Science Guy, the intergenerational icon of all things molecular, he says the science points to it just being safer to stay at home.
Come on, you guys, when you're close together in a bar without a face mask on, you're going to spray droplets on you. The other thing that happens at bars, I don't want to shock you, Ashin, but some people's inhibitions go down.
Using some household items, he showed us an experiment to illustrate just how bars and restaurants can be a breeding ground for the virus.
Think of it this way. A droplet from your breath is like a popcorn kernel in maple syrup. Oh, it falls after a while, but not right away, because the syrup is thick. The same is true of droplets from your breath in the air. The air is thick.
So you're saying that when we talk, particles from our breath kind of stick in the air the same way?
Yeah, so air is viscous enough that if you're a droplet from a human sneeze, the droplet doesn't fall through it very fast through the viscous air. It's very unlikely that if you're 30 feet away, you'd get enough so-called viral load. That's why everybody keeps talking about social or physical distancing.
As the public plays by their own rules and state guidelines change weekly, some small bar owners don't have the luxury of waiting things out.
How do I manage my finances when I don't know when I'm going to be able to make money again?
Sean Ebbett is a bar owner in Lexington, Kentucky. They shut their doors from March to June after the state ordered bars and restaurants to close.
That uncertainty was very scary, especially as we were entering, more than a month and 2 months of being shut down.
Just last week, after seeing an uptick in COVID cases, Kentucky ordered all bars closed again, while restaurants could remain open with limited capacity indoors and unlimited outdoor dining. To get around this restriction, Ebbett had to get creative.
When they initially reopened restaurants in early June, there was an option for bars to get a permit to offer food and remain open. So I kind of got the wheels in motion, got working on it. I reached out to a very popular deli that was able to provide prepackaged sealed sandwiches.
That permit is the only reason why Ebbett's bar has been able to stay open.
We're all fighting for our survival.
The ability to adapt and roll with the punches, a unique quality of being a nightlife owner in 2020, as the pandemic continues on and their future remains uncertain.
People I know in nightlife want to get back to work. They want to make their money, but they also don't want to do it irresponsibly. So they're going to wait. People with deeper pockets, the bigger groups, they can afford to do that, but the smaller places can't.
For Nightline, I'm Ashin Singh in Manhattan.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.